I'm Kerry. I am the admissions manager here at the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, and I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. So a little bit about our schedule. I want to get started because we only have a half hour today. I'm going to give a quick presentation on our program that will address a lot of our frequently asked questions. And then I'm going to turn it over to Christina, who's one of our course facilitators, who's going to tell you more about what our live training sessions are like. But again, just to introduce myself, I am a graduate of the program myself. I started this program in September of 2018 and graduated in 2019, and I've been with the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy since 2020. Christina, you want to take a quick second and reintroduce yourself to those that just joined?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So I'm Christina Taurence. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I started FMCA in March of 2020, graduated in March of 2021. And that's also when I began serving as a course facilitator here, taking on some cohorts to guide and usher them new students through the program. I'm excited to still be doing that today.
Yes, thank you so much. And at the end, we are going to leave plenty of time for questions and answers. So Scott has turned off our chat function. So if you see on the bottom, there's a Q&A. So if you do have a specific question that comes up, please do put it in the Q&A. He will be addressing those on the backside, and then we'll do some live as well as we have time for. So here we are, the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy. All right. So I just wanted to share this quick sales video from our founder, Dr. Sandy. It really hits on the essence of who we are at the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy.
When you become a health coach, you will be saving lives.
I believed that I was destined to suffer from heart disease, and I was destined to suffer from other chronic conditions because that's what my family experienced, and that's what all of my doctors told me.
My dad passed and then my mom passed. I just felt like each time I was a stepping stone of what am I going to do for my longevity.
My doctor said, don't worry, not a big deal. You'll just take this one little pill for the rest of your life. What?
We have a healthcare system that's in crisis. It's leaving people feeling at a loss. They would like to eat better. They would like to have an exercise program that they stick with. But they find that at the end of the day, they're just not following through. And that's where the health coach can come in.
I just found myself always talking to people naturally about health and wellness.
I think I'm a good cheerleader for my friends and families, and I want to root them on. I want us to be a community that supports one another in whatever goal we may have.
I thought I'm going to turn my passion into a business.
I had not been able to find a solution to my concerns and the things that I wanted to address, and I knew that through functional medicine and coaching, I was going to be able to do that.
We are passionate about providing the best education possible.
There's a lot of information in the program.
You're going to get the skills, you're going to get the science, you're going to get the confidence that you need to help people make real life changes.
You've got to find a program that really aligns with you.
I had classmates, colleagues from all over the world.
We have students from Europe, South America, Asia. We have doctors, we have nutritionists, we have nurses, career changers coming from marketing, finance, engineering, accounting, you name it.
I spent 26 years working in the corporate world, and I knew deep inside that I wanted to do something different.
Once I graduated, I felt, okay, now I'm ready to put all the pieces together and feel much more confident about helping people reach their own health goals.
People are just astounded by the amount that they can do, where it's like, wow, they're actually listening and they're taking note and they're doing it.
Making that investment, it helped me set a great example for my family.
It definitely aligns with my value system and how I want to show up in the world.
I focus on midlife women, and I get to be really creative in that space because I am that person.
You don't know unless you try. So if you really want change and you really want to impact people, then you should dive in.
Make this world a better, healthier place.
There has never been a better time to become a health coach.
All right. Thank you for taking the time to watch that with us. I wanted to move on. This is the admissions team, myself, Jess, and Manaz. And if some of you on here probably have had a call with us, and if you haven't and you have more questions that you want to address one-on-one, please do take the time to schedule a call with us. I'm sure Scott will put in the link, put in the chat a link where you can schedule a call with one of us, and we'd be happy to talk through the program with you one-on-one. So this is a little overview of our course. This is a 12-month program. We often get asked, can this be done faster than 12 months? No, it is a step program. And once Christina talks about our live training sessions, you'll get to fully understand why this program is a set 12 months and the advantages of this being the full year program. It's an all online. Our online learning platform is LearnWorlds, and our live training sessions are on Zoom. Our program is a global community. We have graduates from over 90 countries, and it's really fun when you are in your cohort. You will most likely have some international students, and you get to meet people from all over this world, but they're all like-minded people. You really will feel like you found your tribe. We have over 5,000 graduates. Once you are done with this program, you are going to be a functional medicine certified health coach. So you will put those 5 letters after your name, and that is a lifetime certification. We do not require any continuing education, although this community loves to learn, and so we do have opportunities for continuing education, but it's not required. And also this 12-month program does qualify you to sit for the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching exam. If you have more questions about that, please do reach out to one of the admissions team members one-on-one, and we'll talk you through that and what that means. Just another thing to mention is that the background of our students, as you heard in that video, we get students from all different backgrounds. So you do not need to have a medical background to complete this program. You need to be a good listener, willing to learn and open and ready to grow as an individual. So our curriculum, we have a very thorough curriculum. Never have we been told, gosh, that wasn't enough. We're going to go over coaching competencies, our positive psychology, which is a cornerstone to this curriculum, mind-body medicine. You're going to take a deep dive into both functional medicine and functional nutrition, coaching and action demonstration. One of my favorite parts of the program, so you can really watch it everything what you're learning being put into place and demonstrated. And then the business considerations. We have a whole section of our curriculum called the Career Navigator that will help you go through what's going to happen with this afterwards. Okay, as I mentioned, this is an online learning platform, LearnWorlds. This is a little screenshot of LearnWorld here. This is the asynchronous part of the program, and it's split into 12 modules. There's a 12-month program, there's 12 modules. And so the first of every month, that module will open up and you'll be able to see what you have to complete for that month. There's going to be a whole section of resources, your calendar with all of the events, your live training sessions, Dr. Sandy's office hours, any live Ask the Experts will all be in your calendar. As I mentioned, the Career Navigator, that's the business planning portion of this program that you'll have access to from the very start of the program. That will be in LearnWorld. And you'll have access to this content for 3 years after the program, although your lessons will be downloadable for you to keep. Now, I'm going to hit on the basics of a live training session. I'll let Christina take a deeper dive later, but this is kind of a picture of what your cohort might look like. Again, this is a synchronous part of the program. We keep these groups small, anywhere from around 10 to 15 students per cohort. This is 2 hours per week for the whole year. There's always going to be 1 week off per month. That usually corresponds if there's a U.S. holiday in the month. You have a dedicated course facilitator who's going to be your mentor throughout the program, and they're going to be able to monitor your progress and help you grow as a coach. And as you'll see in my next slide, there is a convenient time for each time zone. So for our September cohort, you'll see these are the times that we have offered. These are all listed in Central Time. So no matter if you work full time or not, there's going to be a time that fits your schedule. This is just a quick picture of our course facilitators. So the most wonderful, inspirational people that you'll ever meet. I'm just excited for you to get to know them. And lastly is our contact information. If you do have any other questions, these are ways to reach us, admissions@functionalmedicinecoaching.org. And I am going to turn it over to Christina.
Great. Thank you so much, Kerry. I wanted to just start by letting you know what a unique relationship you'll develop with your course facilitator, because we really do develop a relationship with each one of our students. As Kerry said, we do monitor your progress. We're there week after week as you practice, watching you grow, supporting that growth, and then meeting with you for feedback sessions one-on-one for to help you grow your coaching, to give that feedback, and also to highlight those things that you're already doing well. So we're also here to support you when life happens. I always tell my students, this is a year-long course and life is bound to get in the way at some point during the year. And I'm here for you. You can come and meet with me. Course facilitators are available to book time for office hours, by email to answer questions, some interaction through our discussion board within our cohort. But we're here for support. So if you need help with course navigation, with the coaching competencies, support for your assignments, that's what we're here for as well. But one of the biggest roles we do is provide the leadership, the mentorship in those live training sessions. And we meet with you and the cohort where we strive really hard to create a safe space for you to be vulnerable and to try new things. And maybe that means making mistakes. Maybe that means not getting something right or tripping over your words. That's okay, because that's what we're here for. So we take this cohort and we build the community. We help build connections. We help one another to collaborate. And we do all this in a caring and compassionate way. In a lot of ways, it really mirrors the relationship that you will develop as a coach with your clients. And you'll see that developing week after week. A little bit about how our LTSs are structured. LTS, the live training session. We have two different types of live training sessions. One is where we do practicing of the skills, and the other one is where we're doing demonstrations while the rest of the cohort observes. And I know that can sound really scary. Again, it's a very safe environment. So in those practice sessions, we always start with a word welcome. We start with a grounding session that's led by the students, where we get a little bit of practice of the mind-body medicine. And then we'll spend about 15 minutes in a quick review of the material that was prepared for that LTS. We slowly roll out all of the competencies, of which there are 20. And our competencies at FMCA for coaching completely align with the NBHWC competencies. So the content is very complete and very thorough. That means that there's 20 competencies. So rather than throwing it all at you at once, we roll it out slowly, such that we complete that rollout by about halfway through module 6, month 6. So as we do that, we'll discuss those, and then I'll set the stage for the coaching scenario for the day. Sometimes we'll bring in functional medicine topics. Sometimes we'll just be focusing on that competency and talk about what it sounds like. And then I will put you into the breakout rooms for the practice. And so over the course of 90 minutes, you'll go into the breakout rooms in pairs and triads, and one person will coach, one will act as the client, and if there's a third person, they'll be in there to observe. And you'll coach for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back together as that group of about 15 or so of us, and we discuss what happened. We break down what happened in those breakout rooms. We talk about what worked well, what was challenging. And then I also provide some specific feedback about those competencies. So let's say we were learning how to ask open-ended questions. So I'll provide a few specific examples of some great open-ended questions that I heard. And then I'll also share maybe some areas for growth. So maybe sharing some closed questions and describing how we can turn those around. So we really help to, celebrate those, the glows that we have in there, in those breakout rooms, and also find ways to continue to grow. And so then we repeat that until everyone has had a chance to coach. And then it's time to wrap up. We might have a few minutes left over for Q&A. And then we go our separate ways. That's how we spend the 2 hours in our sessions. So, Kerry, are you getting any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
why don't we go ahead and hear some of what people are really wanting to know?
Can you describe to me, Christina, the transformation that occurs of a student from, month 1 to month 12? Like, what happens?
Absolutely.
Why is it? Why is that?
Yeah. One of the
important?
biggest things I see, and it's so exciting, is the confidence that grows throughout. A lot of people come in, especially once the first couple of weeks, it can be a little rough. It's scary to sometimes, try these new coaching skills on. We're communicating differently than we do when we have one-on-one interactions with friends. Coaching sounds different. And so we have to break those old habits. And I see that happening. And usually somewhere around, as early as month 4, usually by month 7, everybody really gets that light bulb moment and they say, oh, that's what we're supposed to be doing here. That's why we do things this way. And I just love seeing that experience. And that's about the time that we do our second practical skills development milestone check-in. And then we prepare for our final practical exam and our outside clients. So we really, the students just have that transformation in their coaching skills, the growth and confidence, the courage to then coach outside clients.
Yeah.
And then, there's also that personal transformation. So not just as a coach, but sometimes we're seeing health changes. Just that person just comes alive in ways that they, hadn't at the beginning of the course. I
always like to say that it really changes the way you approach all of your relationships and these coaching skills.
I hear
You
a
see
lot
that
of
as well.
Yeah, I hear a lot of students say, learning these coaching skills makes me a better partner, spouse, parent, especially if you have teenagers. I'll just put a plug in for that. You communicate much better with your teens, and a better friend. You start listening in a different way, and you start responding to what other people say in a different way. It becomes less about, oh, me too, this, and sharing from our perspective, and more about just learning more about the person in front of you. That's really what coaching does.
You hit on, when you were describing that, you hit on the assessment process. Can you describe more about how students are assessed throughout the year?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have 2 practical skills development, PSD, checkpoints within the program. The first one happens during modules 3 through 5, and the second one happens late 7 through 9. And during those, what happens, and again, this might sound a little bit scary, but trust me, we are a very supportive group around you. And we have one person coach and one person act as their client. And they coach in front of the cohort for 30 minutes while we all watch and observe. The observers are all given a few specific coaching competencies to look for. And so then we give glows and grow feedback to each other. I give some general feedback. And then you also reflect on your session and then come and meet with me for some more individualized feedback. So we do that twice. The first one we do is a foundation session. The second one we do is more of a follow-up session in preparation for the final assessment, which is our PSA, our practical skills assessment, where you will be paired up with another student somewhere else within the larger class, so outside of our cohort, but still within an FMCA class. And you'll coach them, record that, upload that, and then a different course facilitator, someone with fresh eyes, will review that and then offer feedback for you with that.
Yeah, and that feedback session, it's a pretty extensive feedback session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah, they're anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And we go over what was effective about this session. Where are your areas for growth? And then we, give some suggestions and discuss that with the student, how they want to achieve that growth going forward, especially when we're looking at the final exam. How are you going to grow beyond our walls at FMCA? And how are you going to achieve that growth? Coaching is a lifelong learning endeavor. There's always more layers of the coaching onion to peel and learn and grow.
Yeah. So when I came into FMCA, I had zero coaching experience. I didn't, to be frank, I didn't quite understand coaching. I really came to FMCA because of my love of functional medicine, which a lot of our students do. But we also have students that have gone through other coaching programs. And I hear a lot on the admission side, well, how does that work? When you have someone that comes into your cohort that has gone through another coaching program, or maybe part of their career is coaching, and then you have someone like me that comes in that's fresh and new. How do you manage that as a course facilitator?
Yeah, I love when I have students who do have some coaching experience, because then it takes away that pressure for me to just be the expert, which I'm not the perfect expert here when we go. And I've got some coaching experience, of course, and I've been through the program. But there's such an art to coaching. One of my cohorts right now, I actually have another student who is already board certified. She's here at FMCA to do continuing education credits. So it helps with the collaboration. So I invite them to share from your experience. If this has come up, how did you handle it? What's another way to look at this scenario that we're facing? And so it's just another fresh perspective. And then, also recognizing that people without coaching experience still have very valuable perspectives. So I invite all of that in our discussions. And I learn a lot from my students, even the ones who don't have coaching experience, because they'll ask those, well, what if a client does this? Or what if you say that? And it really makes you think about why we do what we do as coaches.
Yeah, that's great. Can you also describe office hours and what are some of the things that people come to you with in office hours?
Okay. Yeah. So students can book time with me in 20-minute time slots with me or your course facilitator. And students come to me with anything from, I just want to get to know you a little bit better, or I want you to get to know me and maybe some of the things that I'm bringing to this program. We provide, sometimes students are looking for course navigation. They're just having trouble prioritizing and pacing through each module each month, and they're looking for some study tips. Some of them are looking for support on their assignments, and some of them just say, you know what, I'm kind of having a block with this coaching competency. I remember one of the times I met with my course facilitator is, I can't understand the difference between a reflection and an affirmation. Can you help me? So whatever the support is that you need. And I encourage all of my students in that first few weeks to book office hours just to get to know one another. Again, trying to build that community and really getting to know my students.
And the support is there, so take advantage of it. Yeah. You're not alone. I always tell people that you never feel like you're alone.
Yes, never alone. And, another thing that students come in with too is some curiosity. What does coaching look like for me in my coaching practice? So it's another thing that I share as well, is just, how I got to where I am and what I'm doing.
We have some more practical questions here. When is it that the students have to first get their outside clients? And can you describe more about what that looks like?
Yeah. The outside clients assignment opens up, I think it's in late module 9. So pretty far into the course. What that entails is going out into the world and finding 2 people to coach for a minimum of 2 sessions each. That's all the assignment requires. I always say, though, if you've got someone on the hook, go ahead and coach them for maybe 5 or 6 sessions so you can really practice that coaching process over the course of several sessions. The assignment actually consists of turning in your session notes, all created in an anonymous way, of course, just assigning a number, don't use any names, and submitting those as proof that you did the assignment. We provide a lot of support for helping students find ways to find those clients, because just like the national board, we do not let you coach friends or family. And there's really good reasons for that. I always tell people, like, don't ever try to coach your mom. Like,
It doesn't work.
it's so hard to take the daughter or son hat off and put on a coach hat. But yeah, there's a lot of support and ideas for how to do. I think we've even recorded an entire video of how to find those clients, which is going to be a help for you as you begin your coaching business as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
We just have a few minutes. I want to squeeze in these last few questions.
Yeah.
Janae is asking about the 20 competencies, and do they have competencies similar to ICF?
Yes, they do. Yeah. So each one might have 4 to 5 sub-competencies. Yes, beneath it. Yes. That's all housed in our practical skills rubric, which you will become intimately familiar with as you go through the program.
Yeah. And then someone's asking about makeup, like can you switch cohorts? And so, yes, you can. First of all, you can miss up to 7 live training sessions throughout the course of the year and still meet the requirements of the program. I kind of feel like that's a lot, that you won't want to miss 7. So you can make up with another cohort. So if you are in, let's say a Tuesday evening cohort, but you've got a work event that night, you can put in a request to make up with a different cohort that same week. Still,
yes,
are able to do them.
Yeah, we hope that you're able to find a time that will work for you, throughout the year and all the seasons, so that you can really dedicate yourself to your cohort mates who are relying on you to coach and be coached throughout the practice sessions.
Yeah. So this is a great question. Chandra asked, what do you think is the hardest part about the program? And I know this is really personalized. It's different for everyone, but anything that sticks out to you, what people come to you with?
Yes. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is the idea that we are the experts, and we talk about the expert approach versus the coach approach. And we teach and strive to have the coach approach, which means we're not telling people what they should do. You can make a suggestion, but we're not really offering that. We're trying to find out from the clients, what do you think you want to do? And how do you want to do it? How will this fit in your life? And that's what's going to make the difference for a client to be able to have lasting change, so that these aren't just the change of the week or the change of the month, but they just become a part of who they are.
Exactly. It's so hard to, even as an experienced coach, to stick with that, and it's continual growth. Yeah.
It can be a coaching trap.
100%. Krista asked about different times of live training sessions. Yes, Krista, we have times. I showed a slide earlier, but we'd happy to share that with you if you want to email admissions@functionalmedicinecoaching.org. But we've got times across the clock for all different time zones for there. And lastly, Caroline, I'm going to answer your question real quick. What's involved in the asynchronous part? Most of it is watching your lessons. And there is going to be some homework assignments, some reading assignments, and discussion boards and a quiz. I'd say a majority of the time is watching lessons. And that's going to take you about 10 hours a week on average to complete that asynchronous part of the program. We have one last question that we'll squeeze in here. How do we do you use RAE notes for transcript review or something else? So live training sessions are not recorded. They are all about participation. Anything to add to that, Christina?
We do record just the first 2, just so that if a student is getting in and settled and missed it for some reason, that they can still kind of get to know the cohort mates, because we do some introductions there. And then after that, it's not recorded, mostly because we're in the breakout rooms and we're bringing up sensitive information as people are sharing their health histories and things like that. So does that answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So all in all, people ask me on the admissions team, what's the difference about FMCA? What makes you different than other programs? And I always say 3 things is our affiliation with the Institute for Functional Medicine and how closely you get a deep dive into that functional medicine knowledge, how we teach our coaching, as Christina just demonstrated, And lastly is community. As I mentioned before, you are absolutely never going to feel like you are alone. You are going to have found your tribe and your people from all over the world. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to be with us today. And again, any other questions that you may have, please do reach out to us. Enrollment for September is open through the 18th of this month, and we do have $1,000 off of tuition right now. So please do reach out to us, admissions@functionalmedicinecoaching.org, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, everyone.